Hey family, I am back with another video. This one will be a story time just to give you a little background on me and my brother. I don't know if you guys know a lot about, well, you guys probably don't. You don't know a lot about me, but you see the videos that I put out far as me and my family now, me and my husband and my two boys. Before I got married and before I had kids, it was me and my mommy and my brother. My brother actually was transgender before he passed. My brother passed away January 7th, 2012. However, he was cremated January 19th, which is actually my birthday, and we also had the memorial services that day as well. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. Fast forwarding, me and my brother went through foster care for most of our youth. Our mother passed away of AIDS, full-blown AIDS. She passed away in 1999, September 10th, 1999, my mother passed away. I actually have some pictures that I'm going to show you guys, and I'm actually going to introduce you guys to my brother. And no, I'm not crazy. To me, this is part of closure as well. For a long time, I did not have closure on my brother. So long story short, or fast forwarding backwards, whatever you want to say, rewind, pause. Me and my brother went through foster care. In the process of foster care, my brother was molested by one of the boys in the homes that we were in. But prior to that, as younger children, my brother, he really never had a girlfriend. He never was the whole football, oh, I'm rough and tough type guy. That just wasn't his swag. Now, when it come to computers and essays and different things like that, my brother got you. He got you. So I was more of the tomboy. I was more so fighting for my brother, beating older dudes, 3 or 4 years older than me up on behalf of my brother, because they always used to talk about my brother and call my brother gay. Okay, so this is one of the first pictures I'm going to show you guys. This is of me, my brother, and my mom. Me and my brother have different fathers. My brother is actually German, half German. Hey, Germans in the building, get it? And this was my mommy. Her name is Angelina Bayless. This was back in the day. You can see the pictures of us in the background by her hand on top of that speaker. Yeah, what you know about that blue sweater dress? So yes, but long story short, we just really had a rough childhood, but through the grace of God, we really didn't lose our minds. We really didn't. I was raped by my father when I was 7, and that's what caused us to go into foster care, because my mom was blind as well. She was unable to take care of us, okay? And I told my mom, when I told my mom, she called the police. They came and got us because, of course, she wasn't able to drive. They did a rape kit on me, realized that I had been molested. And so they removed us from the home. When we first went, I remember the first night we went into a group home, and the girls there tried to strap me down and do me with a pencil, girl. The pencil, girl. I mean, I couldn't even get a deal. No, I'm playing. Let me not play with that. But yeah, it was rough the first couple of homes. Then I remember we went to Miss Maggie's house. She hit me upside the head, y'all, with a cast iron skillet. The old school cast iron skillet, baby. She was mad because she dressed me up for Halloween, and I was a hula girl, and all of the hula skirt was made out of like the streamers that you use for your birthday. Girl, of course, you know I'm going to tear them off. I'm a child. Girl, she got mad because she had put so much hard work into it and hit me upside the head with a cast iron skillet. I passed out. My brother went and called the police. That's how we were removed from that home. And I think she lost her license or something like that. So fast forward, we went into foster care in 1991. We end up in 1994 or 5 is when we met my mommy. This is a picture of Victoria. Can you see that? That's Victoria and my brother when he graduated high school. But that is Victoria. And I actually talk to Victoria till this day. I call her my mama. She has been my heart and my soul. When I say there's no color lines with me, baby, no color lines at all. She has done more for me than my real family. I call her mama. She knows my kids. She knows my husband. She is very active in my life. I'm very active in her and my father's life, which is her husband, Vince. Shout out to Vince. Woo. So, long story short, fast forwarding to the part where I told you guys my brother got molested in 1998. My mother passed away in 1999. We were at the Lewis's home where we did mostly live in a garage. Yes, you heard me. Room that you drive your car in, garage. And that was a difficult time in our life. We stayed with them for 3 years and we didn't have a voice. Anytime that we felt that we had a voice and we would tell our social worker, it is mandated that social workers speak with the foster parents. And then, of course, the foster parents would make it seem like we were lying and we were this and we were that. You know, we were troubled children and not being able to see our mom. It was always an answer for all the stories that we would go and tell her. And, of course, when she would leave, they would come back and punish us. I remember one of the punishments we got were they woke us up like at 3 in the morning, stripped us naked, put us in the shower, and had us stand outside on the side of the house. Baby, when I say, and this is one of the reasons, really, why I love the Lord, why I believe in God. You have to have something to believe in. For me, it is the Lord, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, because I will continue with this story time. This is just the first part about my brother, but we went through so much to the part where we could have really done so much more far as damaging ourselves or anything like that. And if it weren't for the grace of God, baby, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be married. I wouldn't have kids. I wouldn't have a mental state of peace. So long story short, 1999, my mother passed away. We moved to Mrs. Patterson, which is my grandma, who I always refer to. At this time, I was 13. My brother was about 16. So she took us in. She was a pastor. She raised us, told us the way of the Lord and stuff like that. We found peace there. And that was the longest home that we actually were in. So my brother one day came to me and he was like, oh, I want to take you out to lunch. I'm like, hey, you know, he actually went to San Bernardino University College, which is in California. And he basically came out, told me he was gay. I'm like, okay, well, you my brother. I love you. Nothing is going to change, baby. And after it seemed like he told me, we began to struggle in our relationship. Now, being at the Lewis's, we had went through a lot far as hating each other because we used to lie on each other just to get extra food and different things like that. And I can go in detail on that another story time. But we basically tried to rebuild our relationship at the Patterson's home. And after he told me he was gay, he was really trying to figure himself out. But I did not understand that, being younger than him and not really understanding the processes of what gay people or lesbian people go through. I didn't understand that he didn't understand why he was this way. He didn't understand why he liked women things and feminine things. He didn't understand. So he started to shut me out as his sister, and that continued to snowball into something bigger where me and my brother didn't talk for 2 or 3 years. So over the 2 or 3 years, we did, know about each other through my grandmother, because we both spoke to my grandmother, Miss Patterson. And she slowly started telling me things like, girl, your brother got cornrows. Girl, your brother had lipstick on today. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, she would sporadically just come out and tell me things. So one particular night, I was doing caregiving in Cali, and my brother called me. And when he called me, he was like, hello, is this Letitia? And my brother always had a higher pitched voice, but I noticed it was higher than usual, but I didn't think about it. I was just surprised that he called me. He told me he had got my number from my grandmother, and he felt that it was time that we talked. So we talked, and he basically told me, that he was transitioning to a woman, that for a long time he was not happy with the person that he was. And he wasn't able to talk to me about it because he felt like he would be judged. He didn't think that I would accept him for who he was. And he really, since our mother was gone, we were the only two children. We didn't have any parts with our actual family, biological family. So we were all we had as far as each other. So he really didn't want to lose me, but I didn't care. But I guess for him, he said I used to always make jokes about gay people and lesbians and stuff, and he felt like I would push him away. And he actually, I will be honest, opened my eyes to that lifestyle. I really was not familiar with it until I realized they are people as well, and they have hearts, they have minds, they're just like us. They just have a separate preference on certain things that people are not, we're not used to. So, I couldn't treat him like a species or treat him like he was an object, so. And my brother through time helped me with that as well, because he was my brother and there's a love there. And for me, it had to start there. So basically, he told me that he actually had gotten his boobs done. My brother was 300 pounds, and he had started off with a gastric bypass. After he had lost majority of his weight, he went and he started hormones. Once he started his hormones, he went and got breast augmentation, got his boobs done. And when I say he looked fabulous, like, he started sending me pictures and stuff and told me he was going to go get his co-op pop done, aka vagina, aka, no, I'm playing. But so I'm like, okay. So I'm supporting him this whole time. And when I say our relationship blossomed and I saw the security come back, the confidence come, and he knew who he was happy with who he was. But there was that downside to where he actually dealt with the things I dealt with when it came to relationships, people using you, lying to you and stuff. And it seemed like it was worse for some reason. And so, long story short, y'all, he started dating this guy named Cornell. And, me, I'm way in Cali. He started telling me different things that were going on and how he found out Cornell was using him. And he would drive my brother's car to go see his baby mama and another young boy that he was messing around with. And my brother was just so hurt and devastated because he was so tired of going through, the changes. And this is actually one of my brother's diaries. And I will read on another day a snippet. But this diary opened up my mind to so much that was going on with my brother. And it hurt me so much to see how he was treated, what he went through, the fear he had sometimes just going home, and thinking people would kill him and different things like that. And mind you, he's in Cali now, and Cali is very diverse. So if he felt that in Cali, I can imagine some of these areas like where I am in the country, in Florida and Georgia, So long story short, I'm going to get to the nitty gritty. Me and my brother talked on and off, and we became like besties. When I say besties, baby, I remember this female tried to mess with my brother. He gave me the number. I'm way in Georgia, he in Cali. I called that girl and told that up, baby, to the point she changed her number, and my brother didn't have to deal with her no more. That was still in me, because at the end of the day, that was my brother. Now, he used to get offended when other people would call him man or guy, where I was used to that. So he gave me an acceptance because I was used to calling him my brother. This new Marcy was new, but that was his name that he was changing it to, Marcy. His name was Marcel Bayless. So long story short, I'm going to get to the point, because I don't want the video to be too long, where I found out what happened with him. Me and my husband worked at Publix. Whoop whoop to the Publix. And my husband worked night shift. I worked day shift. I was at home with Brennan. We had not had Faven at the time. And I had gotten up this particular night. Don't do this, y'all. But I had gotten up this particular night to go get my husband from work. And I had left my baby at home. He wasn't a baby, y'all. He was like 3, okay, but he had just fallen asleep. I did not want to wake him up. So I get up and I'm driving on the freeway in Georgia to go get my husband. And I get a phone call from my grandma. And I'm like, hey, grandma, what's up? But I know it's California time, so it's a 3-hour difference. But I still know it was kind of late for my grandma. You don't get no late phone calls unless something going on. But in my head, I don't know why I didn't think like that. So I'm like, hey, grandma, what's going on? Hey, baby girl, what you doing? I said, well, I'm going to go get Fritz from work. And that's it. What's going on? I'm thinking Bible study. So I asked her, y'all have Bible study? No. She was like, well, just call me when you get to Fritz. And I'm like, grandma, go on, talk to me. I don't want you to drive and talk. So my grandma old school. I'm thinking, okay. So I get to the job. And at this point, I'm like, okay, that's weird she called me at this time. It's not Bible study, but okay, whatever. Still not running across my mind, okay? So I call her as soon as I get in the parking lot. I park right in the front, and I'm on the phone. And she was like, well, baby girl, you at the job? And I said, yeah. She said, well, something grandma want to tell you about Marcel. Immediately in my heart, y'all, when I say something, it was like a sharp pain, and it's like it dropped. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Just hearing something's wrong with Marcel. But she told me, well, Marcel was in the hospital. Marcel was beaten up very badly by one of his lovers. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, wait a minute, who did it, grandma? Where the po-pos? And, and she was like, baby girl, just calm down. And I start crying. And I was like, grandma, where you at now? Are you at the hospital? Let me talk to him. Is he able to talk? Is he, because I'm way in Georgia. So she was like, no, just, and it's something else. And I'm like, what is it, grandma? Like, tell me what is. So I'm, at this point, I feel it, but I'm like, it ain't that. Because she hasn't verbally said it was that. And my grandma, like me, she 1,000. She gonna tell you, but she didn't say it. And so I was just crying. I'm like, grandma, tell me. And she got quiet. When my grandma got quiet, y'all, I knew. Excuse me if this get emotional. I knew something wasn't right. So I'm like, grandma, talk to me. Tell me. Y'all, I done got out the car at this point, and I'm like, grandma. So Fritz, they tell Fritz, the people in the store see me outside. They see me crying and stuff. So they tell him to come on and come outside and all this. So they call him. And then I'm like, Pooh, something wrong. Amaris at the time was there, which was one of the other co-workers. And Sherman, he was there. I remember that night, y'all. And I had dropped the phone from crying because I knew in my heart something more was going on, but she didn't want to tell me. So my husband gets the phone. He talks to her, but he was like, okay, we got to go. So I get in the car. I'm like, babe, what is it? Because my grandma had hung up at this point. And he was like, we just got to go. Where's Brennan? I was like, he at the house. He was like, we're going to go get Brennan. Then we're going to go to Miss Kathy, which is Brennan's godmama. So we get to the house, get Brennan, and then we go to Miss Kathy's house. At this point, I knew, why the hell are we going to Miss Kathy's house? Why are we going to Miss Kathy's house? Man, so we get to Miss Kathy's house, and he was like, babe, you need to call your grandma back. So I call my grandma back. I'm like, grandma, what's going on? Fritz done made me go get Brennan. We at Miss Kathy's house. And he had talked to Miss Kathy once we had got there. So I'm not knowing what's going on because I'm trying to get to my grandma like, what's good? So my grandma, baby, you need to talk to Fritz. Okay, so everybody just going around and around. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, why do I need to talk to Fritz when I got you on the phone? You need to tell me what's going on. Is Marcel okay? And I felt it, y'all. At this point, I felt it. So, but it does something to you when you hear the words. And so I hung up on my grandma, y'all. And I said, Pooh, what is it you need to tell me? What is going on? And he was like, babe, just sit down. And I was like, I'm not going to calm down. He was like, babe, Marcel is gone. Y'all, when I say glory to Jesus, Glory to Jesus. That day, something happened to me. Something happened to me. I blacked out for a minute, y'all. I remember sliding on the ground, and I don't remember what happened after that. And I remember doing this gut-wrenching yell. And then I just remember everybody crying after that. And I'm like, no. 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 And he said, baby, yeah. When I say my life changed, y'all, my life changed. After that, it was a minute. It probably was like an hour or something. I was just crying. Kept crying and kept crying. And I'm like, no, this is not real. I just spoke to him. No. And he tried to hold me. And I just kept crying, y'all. And I called my grandma back. And I said, is this true? Is Marcel gone? Is my brother gone? Are you for real? And she said, yeah, baby girl. And when I tell y'all, she was like, you gotta come out here because you are on all his paperwork. We can't do anything until you get out here. So Marcel has been sitting, and the church has come together. We will pay for y'all to come out here because this is something that has to be done. The next morning, y'all, 2 days later, I'm sorry. 2 days later, I left to California. The next day, I had went to work. My job had put a fund together for me and my husband for travels. And when I got to California, y'all, it was just so unreal. It was unreal. We went to my brother's apartment, and there was blood everywhere. There was stuff everywhere. And I had to clean it up, y'all. Me and my husband. And for a long time, I wasn't right in my head. I didn't have time to think. I didn't have time to mourn. I had to decide if he was going to be buried, if he was going to be cremated, if we were going to have services. We had to get the word out. It was so much going on. I didn't have time to mourn. And that's what caused a down spiral for me, because I didn't have time to deal with it. And I ended up dealing with it a year later, and it hit me like, this is your life now. Your mama's gone and your brother's gone, and you have a new life to live without them. And it took me, I got mad at God. That's why y'all need to see the movie The Shack Girl, because girl and guy, hey. But it did something to me. And I came back from it. It took me a while. I had to really resort to counseling and different things. I went through counseling with my mom. And yeah. So I'm going to show y'all a picture of my beautiful sister. And this is Marcy, y'all. This is Marcy. I don't know if y'all can see it well. That's my baby. That's Marcy. And this is Marcy. This is my baby, y'all. And Victoria, my mama, actually bought this. So when I say for 31, that's just one phase of my life. God is able to do so much. If you don't believe in the Lord, you should have clicked off a long time ago. But when I say God has done so much for me in my life, where I could have been living a totally different life. Totally different life, because my brother meant so much to me, but I had to remember that my brother was not mine to begin with. He was the Lord's. He always was the Lord's. And my brother did believe in the Lord as well. Regardless of what people say, oh, they not living right, they gay, they this, that, and the third, you know what the words say. That's not your place. That's not my place. Our place is to love. Our place is to be obedient to God. All this other worldly stuff that we focused on, and I had to learn that. I had to learn that. My responsibilities, my accountability, it's all up to Him. It goes all to Him. I'm supposed to love and show God's love to His children, regardless of what shape, fashion, form, color, all that. That's being a hypocrite when you're doing all this. It didn't say in the Bible you do this. It said you do this. So anyways, y'all, that was a little deep video, but I just wanted to shed a little light. If y'all want to see another video of a little bit more detail on my brother, because we used to talk about everything, y'all. Everything. So let me know. That's my video for the week. I love y'all so much. Stay blessed. Stay up. This is Fluffy Life. Nicole. Be blessed. Enjoy y'all weekend.